Hey, what's up? Well, I'm here to make a video. I'm hoping it will snow very soon, so that might be my very next video. You know, a lot has changed, a lot is going on, but what I'd really like to do in this video, I'd like to unbox something that I wasn't expecting to get this soon, and I have to be very careful not to reveal my address, because unlike in the United States, they believe in Portugal and printing it on both sides. And so I'm going to unbox this, and I think I'm going to hide it with this. And I could hide this side with this. And hide that person's name. So you can see that it's a package from Portugal. And I don't know why the price was in British pounds, but I'm going to unbox something that you cannot get in the US. It's really a shame when I basically have the world in the way of dolls. And so the only things that I find irresistible are the things that are found in other countries. And the way that they did this was very odd. But they don't have the same system like in America. And I'm very excited I like to keep this packaging so that I can wrap things. But I'm very excited. I spent years wanting one like this. But oh wow, they have grocery sacks in other countries. Finally, we get to the tiny reason why I ordered this package. The tiny reason. And the explanation. Basically, we have a little boy, Hornby Fairy, to go with the slightly older, unfortunately taller girls of the series, the Hornby Fairies. And that's a little boy doll about that size. Not sure if he was a Hornby Fairy or not. But these are my Hornby Fairies. And this one was some kind of a Thumbelina Prince doll that went with them. But I've always wanted one of these cute little, they call them a pixie, a flower pixie. I don't know if why they were all boys, but in the 80s, they had these Hornby dolls. And somehow or another, they started out with these. But then they introduced long-haired girls that were slightly older and taller looking, so that these still look like little brothers of the girls. And what's special about them, I don't know how they decided to do that, but I think what happened was they introduced these as the originals. The original design. It looked like a generic little boy. I guess you could have imagined it to be a girl, but he had brown hair and blue or brown eyes, and this one has blue eyes. I think the combination of him being cheaper and having blue eyes is why I finally, couldn't resist him. But he's like a little brother of the fairies. And so, there my world is complete because of him. And if he'd have been nude or broken or any, I guess, brown-eyed instead of blue-eyed, because I just like the brown hair and the blue eyes, I probably wouldn't have finally taken the offer, and it took me a while to actually accept it. I didn't immediately accept it. But he's there, he's my little boy fairy, and I guess, I didn't really need him. But just like Veruca Salt, I always want what I don't have. And since that is dwindling, it's almost like, there's just, I've wanted one for years, and finally, now that I don't really have anything that I need or want, I get around to getting one because, he's just very special. And the only thing would be better is if he were taller like the girls, but unfortunately they have boobs. So a girl's body would not work for such a doll. And so what I want to talk about, I think what happened with those dolls in the 80s is they introduced those boys. And they may have not sold a lot, so they thought, well, let's make a new version that's a long-haired girl. A girl with rooted hair. And so they did. And they may have sold a little better. And so this was all in the UK, I think. And so they sold more of those than the previous cuter model. I wouldn't know this for sure. This is all speculation because, I was a baby who knew nothing of these dolls. And so when they were able to sell more of the girls, I guess it took off, and some of them ended up in the US, or they may have sold them in the US. I'm not sure. But somehow that was the only one that I've been able to find in the US. And then not very many of the, the girls with the longer hair. And I think I had more of them somewhere. I had some redheads. I thought I had some. But he'll go nicely with my collection of Hornby fairies. And, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and how, I finally have a boy like this. And I don't need to get any more, but, that's about all I didn't really have. And so, yeah, I'm glad he came in, and I can quit worrying about him and focus on the snow.